Here on this channel, we cover a lot of shooting games and adventure games and puzzle games, but games can be much more than just action and adventure. Today, we're going to take a look at some of the best educational games available on MetaQuest and other VR headsets right now. We're going to kick off with the Body VR, subtitled Journey Inside a Cell. And the reasons for that subtitle will become obvious, but before I get into it, I just need to say, when I first tried this experience, it kind of grossed me out a bit. This is not one for the squeamish. So the Body VR is an experience where you are traveling upon a red blood cell within the body, hence that subtitle. And what you're doing is taking on board all of the activations, all of the activities that a single red blood cell does inside the human body. It's a remarkable experience learning up close what is happening inside your body at the moment that you are engaging with this experience. It lends to the uniqueness of VR, the fact that you can, without any outside distractions, be immersed in this true-to-life biological delivery system, but in such a way that it becomes entertaining. And that is one of the strengths of VR as an educational tool. Not only are you completely immersed in this situation, whatever it may be, whether it be inside the human body or in outer space, not only are you completely immersed within it, but also it becomes an engaging and genuinely entertaining experience. So if you're looking to teach some teenagers about the journey through the body that a red blood cell has, the Body VR, Journey Inside a Cell, is the perfect way to not only deliver the information, but also to give them an experience that will stay with them.
Copied into RNA or ribonucleic acid, containing a single recipe for protein creation.
Next up, we have Wander. Now, this is the kind of experience that if you're a big fan of Google Earth, and particularly the Street View, you're going to love this. Wander takes all the data, all the telemetry data from Google Maps, from Google Earth, and adapts it to be a VR experience that you, as yourself, can go and visit any of the locations available in VR. You can be on street level, walking down streets in Paris or visiting Hollywood Boulevard in LA, or whatever it may be, wherever you want to go in the world and see what that place is like. It's unlike anything you've ever tried before. This is basically tourism without ever needing to leave your house. This has also been a perfect primer for if you're going traveling. Say, for example, you're living in America right now and you've never visited Europe and you're going to Italy next month. Well, stick on your VR headset, try out Wander, and see what it's like. Figure out how to get from the train station to your hotel without ever leaving your house. While our first two experiences were a bit grounded, we're now going to lift off to outer space with Mission ISS. Mission ISS was developed with NASA to create an accurate simulation of what it's like to be on the ISS space station. You can engage with all elements of living on the space station through performing experiments or repairs and so on in order to get an accurate recreation of what life is like on a space station. This is a game or an app that has been designed for procedural learning. You're not just a passive observer here. You're actually engaging with the real-world tools and the real-world tasks that actual astronauts have to go through when living on a space station. Mission ISS set the tone for many different space-based educational games to come after it, but frankly, it still remains your best option. We've already touched on biology with the Body VR, but now we're going to turn to chemistry with Chemistry Lab VR. This is realistically a platform for, again, high school students, maybe early college, in order to experiment, combining all different types of liquids and elements like you would in a real chemistry lab, but with none of the danger and none of the cleanup. You'll be able to mix any kinds of substances and heat them up and see what happens when you do these kind of things. And of course, it's completely safe because it's all virtual. Chemistry Lab VR is entirely grounded in real-world science, and it gives you an opportunity to do things that maybe you never could in a real-world environment. While you can just freeform experiment, there are guided lessons as well. So again, if you're looking to learn a bit more, expand your knowledge base, or take some students to show them how things work. Chemistry Lab VR is a great way of getting hands-on without getting messy. So we've covered the sciences and a bit of geography, and obviously history is pretty easy to recommend. There are thousands of VR apps that will take you to the Colosseum and ancient Rome or similar experiences. But what about art? For budding artists, there are two options out there: Tiltbrush and OpenBrush. OpenBrush is arguably the spiritual successor to Tiltbrush, which is an open source variation of Google's much-loved art creation tool. But through continued support since launch, it expands the possibilities of Tiltbrush significantly. And what's more, of course, it is free. With Tiltbrush and OpenBrush as well, you're given a fully 3D 360-degree canvas. It's not simply a case of painting on a flat surface anymore. You are painting in 3D. And some of the creations that have come from this tool are unbelievable, frankly. People can dive into their imagination with such depth and such precision in VR that they've created works of art that could never have been done with any other medium. If you have someone with a bit of creative streak or a bit of flair for doing something a bit different, then Tiltbrush and OpenBrush gives them the tools to bring their imagination to life in fully 3D, immersive 360. While not strictly an educational game, I'm going to throw one extra in here for you because it came out recently and I very much enjoyed it. The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe is an immersive adaptation of the world-famous poem. You can see 131XR's review of it up the top right now. And basically what it does is it adapts the poem to you being the narrator of the poem, the person in question, sat in the famous chamber with the Raven. It's not interactive in any way, and I mean, there are some basic issues, but ultimately it is an adaptation of one of the most famous poems in the world. So if you're looking to get your kids, or maybe someone you know, more interested in the literary arts, The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe does come recommended. So VR is a fantastic tool for education, and the immersive nature of VR has been proven to be better for long-term knowledge recognition than reading from a textbook or watching a video. So if you are trying to educate your kids, or maybe you're a teacher in a school right now, take a look at some of these examples that we've offered and some of the many other educational tools out there, and I'm positive that you will find the benefits.